All right, so ready to go deep on Office Space.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Looks like we've got a ton of stuff to unpack here.
Yeah, a real mountain of articles.
Someone really wants us to get into this one. Beyond just the movie itself, though, right? Like
Yeah.
behind the scenes, how it's affected how we think about work.
Right, right.
And of course, got to tackle the big question. Is it the best movie about work ever made?
Big question.
But okay, first things first. It's kind of wild that the whole thing started with Milton.
Oh, yeah, those little animated shorts.
Before Beavis and Butthead even.
Can you imagine if the studio had gotten their way? A whole Milton movie?
I mean, I love Milton, but a whole movie might be a bit much.
Focusing on The Office was definitely the right move. More relatable, I think. More characters to play with.
Totally. And speaking of relatable, Judge pulled a lot from his own life for this, didn't he? Those engineering jobs he had.
Oh, yeah, the soul-crushing jobs. You can really feel that authenticity in the movie. It's not some Hollywood fantasy.
Not at all. Speaking of Hollywood, though, did they really want Affleck and Damon as Peter?
After Good Will Hunting, yeah. Wild, right? Can you imagine?
Peter Givens is this smooth talking. No. Judge knew what he was doing. Ron Livingston was perfect, even if he wasn't a huge star yet.
Perfect casting. Across the board, really. Jennifer Aniston was already big from Friends, but even her role,
It was tiny originally. They had to add all that flair stuff just to give her more to do.
which, thinking about it, kind of fits the whole theme, right? Like, even in a job that means nothing, you got to stand out somehow.
It's like those pieces of flair become this symbol of conformity, almost.
Yeah.
Even though they're supposed to be about individuality, it's deep, man.
Totally. And, okay, can we talk about Gary Cole for a sec? Lumbergh, iconic.
And to think John C. McGinley auditioned for it, can you even picture anyone else?
Nope. Cole just own-NS that role, that passive-aggressive boss energy.
Judge said he made the character 10 times funnier than what was written.
Mm-hmm.
It's all in the delivery. That flat voice, the way he leans in. Ugh, the worst.
And filming in Texas, brutal. 100-degree heat, smoke from fires in Mexico.
Sounds more like a war movie than an office comedy.
Adds to the atmosphere, though, right? That
Yeah.
feeling of being trapped, stifled.
Totally. Okay, but get this. The studio hated the dailies.
Seriously.
They wanted more energy, more Peter smiling. They even thought Livingston was on drugs.
Oh, come on. That's ridiculous.
Right. They wanted to turn it into some cheesy, upbeat thing.
Thank goodness Judge stuck to his vision. That deadpan humor is what makes it work.
Absolutely. And speaking of things that almost got cut, the soundtrack
The gangster rap. Yeah, that's perfect.
almost got axed. One person in a focus group liked it, and that saved it.
Wow. Talk about one person making a difference. It's so jarring against the office setting.
Perfectly jarring. Like it's the sound of their inner rebellion.
Exactly. And there was almost a scene with Lumbergh's Porsche getting towed.
I read that. Gary Cole nixed it. Too out of character, he thought.
Interesting. Shows how much thought the actors put into their roles, you know?
For sure. Oh, and Stephen Root, who played Milton.
Mm.
He needed contacts just to see. Those glasses were so thick.
No way.
Couldn't even reach for his stapler properly. No depth perception. Talk about commitment.
Wow. Dedication to the craft. And
Yeah.
the poster, the one Judge hated. The Post-it note guy. So iconic.
Right. He thought it was an Office Depot ad. But it kind of captures that whole feeling, right? Just another cog in the machine.
Totally. And remember, it bombed at the box office.
It did. Comedy Central and DVDs made it a cult classic.
It's like the movie mirrored its characters. Overlooked at first, but found its audience eventually.
The perfect underdog story, I guess you could say. Which brings us to, well, the impact. The legacy of Office Space. It's not just a funny movie. It's become part of how we talk about work, hasn't it?
It's like it gave us a language for that frustration, that disillusionment. And that conversation's still going strong today.
It definitely is. But we'll dig into all that after the break.
Sounds good. You know, it's kind of crazy how Office Space was almost prophetic.
Prophetic. How so?
Like all that anxiety about cubicles, technology taking over, being watched all the time, it's even more true now.
Oh, totally. It's like it was a warning sign. Of course, we can't forget the Bobs.
The consultants. Classic.
Embodiment of every corporate buzzword ever. And they're still around.
Oh, absolutely. Maybe in hoodies now, talking about disrupting things. But same idea, right? Do more with less.
It's amazing how some things never change. But you know what's interesting? After Office Space, companies actually started trying to fix some of the stuff it made fun of.
Oh, yeah.
Open offices, casual dress, ping pong tables. Like they were trying to make work fun.
Like that's the solution, right?
Yeah.
A ping pong table doesn't fix the actual work being soul-crushing.
Like putting a Band-Aid on a broken leg.
Yeah.
So are you saying all those perks? This is a distraction.
Kinda, yeah. Make people feel better about being exploited. I mean, haven't things gotten better since the 90s, though? Some things must have changed.
Yeah.
It's complicated. We have more flexibility now working from home. Technology makes some stuff easier. But work and life are all blurred together now. Burnout's a huge problem, always feeling on.
It's like we traded the cubicle for a digital one.
Yeah.
Still tethered to our devices, emails at all hours.
Exactly. Always available. It's like we've internalized the panopticon. Monitoring ourselves, feeling guilty if we're not productive every second.
We're all Milton, worry about our staplers.
Right. And don't forget hustle culture. Always got to be grinding, optimizing. It's exhausting.
And plays right into companies wanting to squeeze every drop of work out of us. But okay, back to the movie. What do you think is its biggest legacy? The humor, the characters, the message?
I think it captured a feeling, that disillusionment with work, made it okay to talk about.
Gave us permission to say, hey, this is messed up.
And it resonated with so many people because deep down we all knew it was true. But did it actually change how we work? That's the question.
Right. Any real impacts?
I mean, some companies trying to be more flexible, but is it really about employees or just attracting talent? Hard to say.
Like they're rebranding exploitation as empowerment. But let's be real, some things haven't changed at all. Bad bosses, office politics, feeling stuck.
True. Some parts of work are timeless, I guess. But Office Space helped us see it, call it out, maybe even demand better.
Gave us a new lens to view the whole thing through. The absurdity, the unfairness.
And that awareness is the first step to change, right?
Can't fix a problem you don't acknowledge. Okay, so we've talked about how the movie was made, its impact, how it shaped how we see work. But now, the big one.
The big one.
Is Office Space the greatest work movie of all time?
Ooh, that's tough. There are other great ones out there, each with their own thing. But Office Space, it's got that blend of humor and heart, you know?
It's hilarious, but there's that undercurrent of sadness, too. Work can be soul-crushing.
Exactly. It gets at that existential angst about work. Is this all there is?
And it does it in a way that's just relatable, not preachy or anything, just real.
And the characters, man, so well done, so memorable. Peter, Milton, Lumbergh.
And Joanna, even, the waitress, just trying to get by. But even she's got that little spark of rebellion.
It's like the movie saying, we're all in this together, even if we don't realize it.
And that's what makes it so powerful.
Yeah.
Speaks to that shared experience of work. Good, bad, and just plain absurd.
So is it the greatest? I think it's definitely a contender. What do you think?
I mean, it's up there, sure. Timeless, but also still SO relevant today. Alienation, rebellion, finding meaning in work, that resonates now more than ever. And it's just damn funny.
Oh, yeah.
The characters, the lines. It's perfect. Makes you laugh, cringe, and nod your head like, yep, been there.
It captures how absurd work is, but doesn't forget about the human cost. That's a tough balance to strike.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So maybe not the greatest, but it's one that sticks with you, makes you think about your relationship with work, maybe even inspires you to, I don't know, fight back a little against the TPS reports of life.
Maybe we'll all find our version of Peter's dream job someday. One that doesn't
man.
make us want to burn the place down.
A goal worth striving for. Thanks for diving deep with us today. Hope you enjoyed exploring Office Space and thinking about the world of work. Now, Field, excuse me, I got to go find my red stapler.